So hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with.
And I'm Craig from Escape the Fate.
And we have some questions to say about their new album, Out of the Shadows. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
Thank you very much. The response seems to be pretty good, which is awesome because the last record we released came out during COVID, and we weren't able to go out on the road and kind of see in person what the response for that record was. So
yeah,
very grateful that we're still around to be able to create music, and grateful to be out on the road and see the fans singing these brand new songs live.
Hell yeah, the album rips. I was giving another listen today. So good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Immaculate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of
course. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yes. So the artist for the cover art, Casey, he did the art for our This War Is Ours album. And so going into it, it's not a concept album by any means, but the overarching theme of the record is the same throughout. And it's just exactly what it says, out of the shadows. You know, we've all been going through in the band's history and career a lot of changes, and just in my personal life, you know, I've talked about it before, but over COVID, I got sober. And that was a very big deal for me.
Congrats.
And so the album just kind of focuses, especially the title track, not the title track, I'm sorry, the first track of the record, Forgive Me, sort of explains that I'm killing that old part of me, which doesn't even feel like a part of me anymore, and coming out of the shadows and into the light and being reborn. And it's those themes that are just throughout the whole album. So it connects to me very personally. It connects to Robert. We've talked about it. It connects to everybody through what we were going through in our personal lives and our music career.
Hell yeah. Congratulations on sobriety. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
Already over 3 years. It's crazy.
Hell yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Love it. So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the album?
So this process was a lot of fun compared to the last few albums. You know, the last few kind of felt like we got into this place where it's time to go into the studio. So it's time to get some songs together, and you go in and you start putting stuff together, and there's a deadline, and you got label telling you, well, we're kind of looking for something that sounds sort of like this for certain playlists and algorithms. And it's like, this time around we got together just as a group at Eric's place in Arizona and started the writing process. And then when we got in with Feldy, we did writing for about a week, and then he went on vacation. He said, you know what, guys, come into the studio every day and just work on some stuff, and we'll jump back into some more stuff when I get back. So we were able to be there just as a group working on some more material. So it was a lot of fun to see it all come together slowly.
Because you weren't able to celebrate the last album because of the pandemic, did that impact your writing process at all?
I don't necessarily think it impacted the writing process too much. I guess what impacted the writing process a lot was we were definitely in a weird transitionary period, and we were working on that one for so long. Like, the timing, it was like, all right, come in and work on this, then we have to go on the road, come in and work on this, but then we got to go hit the road. And then COVID happened, and we were finishing stuff out throughout. So it just I was so ready for it to just come out. I was like ready to move on to the next chapter already before Chemical Warfare was even released, which sucks as an artist. You know, you don't want to already be ready to move on before something has yet to come out, you know? Yeah. So it was just strange times, and we were going through changes in the group because, as I said, because the pandemic happened and touring wasn't happening, our last guitarist, Kevin Thrasher, started getting involved in studio work. We had Travis Barker come in and play drums on 2 tracks on the last album. He needed somebody to help him out in his studio, and, you know, Feldy was like, Kevin can do what you want. He's like, all right, let me try him out. And Kevin's been there ever since.
Hell yeah.
So once touring started happening up again, you know, it was tough for Kevin because he's always been interested in doing studio work, and he felt like he had a really solid uh, spot to work
Yeah.
on things he wanted to work on. So for us to be like, oh, just drop that because it's ready to go back on the road was kind of not fair. So it was kind of a mutual, we wish you the best. And he's like, if you guys ever need anything from me, I'm there. And, kind of mutual separation and new chapter in
Yeah.
the band's life.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. I'm glad it was in good terms. That's always good to hear.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mhm. So what song off this album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Ooh, the longest to write. Probably Cheers to Goodbye. And I only say that because Cheers to Goodbye was the oldest demo that I had. So that was a song I was working on that I was just thinking about releasing as something free on SoundCloud as like a solo song.
Okay.
I had the chorus. I was working on it with Eric just in my free time like 4 years ago.
Mm.
And when we started writing demos, we started coming up with this very carnival theme sort of intro and verse,
Yep.
which I really loved because, revisiting some of our old stuff, I'm like, yeah, man, it's giving me It's Just Me vibes.
Mhm.
And we had just done like the 10-year anniversary for the This War Is Ours album. I'm like, yeah, man, let's go back to those roots a little bit. Let's re-enter that realm on this one. And then when the chorus hit, the chorus I had for my solo song just immediately was right there.
Yeah.
Like I heard the music and the chorus hit for the Cheers demo, and
Mhm.
I just started singing the chorus that I had just had. So I
Yeah.
just changed the one last tagline in it, which used to be Vanilla Sky, to Cheers to Goodbye. And then it turned into what it was. And once we heard the final demo with all the vocals and all the instruments, I was like, we got to get Spencer from Ice Nine on this song.
Of course.
That second verse is just like so theatrical. It's so
Mhm.
fun.
Mhm.
If you're thinking of anybody that's going to do some fun, awesome, amazing theatrical type vocals,
Mhm.
it's got to be Spencer. So
Yeah.
I hit him up. He was down to come in. Very easy to work with. Awesome guy. Love that dude. And love that track. My personal favorite, I really connect with Forgive Me. I like that one a lot. And the song on the record, I know you didn't ask, but the one that came together the quickest
Okay.
was Choke. And that's definitely in my top 3,
Okay.
which is funny.
Do you want
Hell
to
yeah.
give us your top 3?
Yeah.
Probably Forgive Me, Choke, and Cheers to Goodbye.
Oh yeah.
That's a good ass
Solid
lineup.
list. Yeah.
Mhm.
So how'd the track list of the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
So that process, it's never been like this for us. We were usually pulling our hair out and arguing with each other for months on end. But this one came together pretty easy, especially even the set list for the tour came together exactly like the album.
Oh shit.
We knew Forgive Me, we wanted to be the beginning of the album.
Mhm.
And we knew Cheers to Goodbye, we wanted to end the album. So then it was kind of easy, like, all right, what do we hear following Forgive Me? Oh, definitely, you hear the last note and the beginning note of Choke.
Mhm.
And you're like, that one's got to come after. And then you kind of just fill the pieces in there. And then I did make the suggestion. I was like, well, Hate Myself has got to be track 8.
Yeah.
It's literally, the title is H8 is how we wrote it out. I was like, so that's got to be track 8. So
Of
now we
course.
got track 1, track 8, and the last track. Let's fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And so it was a good starting point.
That's awesome. So it was literally just knowing the bookends of the album that just kind of helped you fill it all together.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You guys put out the closing track as a single. Was there any sort of like worry that you're like giving up the big crescendo to the album, like when you're putting that out as a single?
Yes, definitely from my end. I remember having discussions where I was being asked, what song do you think we should release first? And I wanted to come out the gate with Low.
Mm.
And I wanted to save Hate Myself and Cheers to Goodbye for a little later. And then we kind of discussed how it seems we always end up releasing a heavy song from our records first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're right. We kind of do that a lot. So I guess let's go with Hate Myself and then Low, and then let's shoot for Cheers to Goodbye. And I don't even think Cheers was on track to be a single until it was finalized.
Damn.
And then once it was finalized, everyone at the label, after they heard the final product, was like, "Yeah, let's go for it. Let's make this the next one." So the band was stoked because we were in love with it from the get go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's good. Hell yeah. So you kind of went into it a little bit earlier, but if you want, you could go a bit more in depth. Would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you were creating this record?
My headspace was exactly what the album explains. You know, I just feel like I was living with imposter syndrome, you know, through all my addictions and just trying to rediscover myself and rediscover my love for the music and my appreciation for what I have the opportunity to do. You know, I'm very grateful to be able to do this. And it's so easy to wake up, no matter what you're doing in life or what walk you're on in life. It's very easy to wake up and just focus on the negative. And I feel like that's where I was for a huge part of my adult life, you know, from 17 onward. It was just not even realizing that I was waking up every day and focusing on the negative, but that's what I was doing, you know. And it's like, wake up and count your blessings. Like, everything could be a lot worse. So I'm so grateful, number one, to still be alive. You know, I have 2 beautiful kids. It was my dream to make music for a living, and I'm still out here after almost 20 years.
Yeah,
creating music and playing music for people that want to hear it, and they're excited. And people still come up to me every day and say, "Thank you very much for your music. It really helps me get through the day." And there's no better compliment, honestly, because that's what helps me get through the day, is writing down my feelings and being able to perform. And performing is like a therapy session to me. So
absolutely,
if there's at least one person at every show that feels like they're getting motivation to get through their next 24 or 48 hours or the next week or the next month, awesome. Job well done. And that's what it's all about. It's just motivating the next person.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Was there any sort of like struggle for you, kind of like changing your mindset and like kind of like almost what you write about with like, you know, the change in your perspective and how you see everything?
Yes and no. In some ways it was easier for obvious reasons. In some ways it was harder. You know, the alcohol had become such a crutch to me that it was hard to sort of, I don't feel like I ever believed in myself. I feel like it was a lot of liquid confidence, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So to rediscover it, and like I said, sit down and count your blessings and just open my eyes and be like, look at what you're doing. Like, believe in yourself. You wouldn't have been able to be on the road and play the type of shows you played or release this many albums if you weren't at least in some way decent at what you do.
Exactly.
So just trying to motivate myself to keep going and just kind of rediscovering myself, that kid that was hungry and bright-eyed and wanted to take over the world, you know, rediscovering him. And so that was exciting and scary all at the same time, but such is life, you know.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should do in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
I always like to listen to any album when I'm listening to it for the first time, either with some headphones, laying in bed at the end of the day, or if you have like a pretty decent distance to drive, just driving like at night on the freeway when it's empty.
Yep.
I love listening to records for the first time in that way, like just yourself and the road and the street lights. And that's when I really start feeling the music.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that, but that's what I like doing.
Yeah. I've had so many albums click that way with me. Like just the freeway drive, it just clicks.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Rebirth, rediscovery, and motivation.
Damn, I thought you were gonna hit us with another re. Yeah. You were one away. Fuck. That was good. Good as hell though.
Let me think. Rebirth, rediscovery. I don't know. I can't think of it.
God.
Re something.
Re something. Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
It's re something.
Yeah, re something.
Yeah.
Re something. Damn right.
All right.
Yeah.
Re something.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Hope. I want them to have hope.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Music's an escape for all of us. Entertainment in any form is an escape for all of us. And, you're obviously escaping for a reason, or you're just listening to music to have a good time, or whatever it may be, create memories in your life. And I just hope that ours is part of some good memories and create some motivation and some hope.
I love that.
Hell yeah. Awesome. So are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this album, positive or negative?
It's with us, it's always the same struggle. Working with Robert every single time.
Goddamn Robert.
But I say that in a joking, loving way. Like we're polar opposites, but at this point, me and him are like an old married couple.
Yeah.
We're always going to go toe to toe with each other on creative ideas, and that's good. Yeah. That's a good thing. That's what a relationship should be. You should vibe off of each other and respectfully disagree. And it definitely creates a sense of excitement when I'm working on something and he's in love with it from the get-go.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Exactly. We were doing a meet and greet just the other day, and somebody asked, what's been great about this tour so far? And, I gave some love to our crew. Our crew's been working their butts off on this tour. And Robert turns and he goes, you know what, man, I'm going to have to agree. Our crew's been killing it. And then I turned to our tour manager and I said, Robert's complimenting you right now. That means you guys are doing a really good job.
Yeah.
So if you're working on something in the studio or I come up with like a merch idea and Robert's first response is, that's awesome, then I'm like, all right, that's it. It's locked in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't change a goddamn
no
thing.
hurdles to jump over. Yeah.
Yep.
So since you're on tour, we have to ask, what's been your go-to snack when you're at a gas station or a rest stop?
Ooh, a gas station or a rest stop. I always try to find these peanut butter perfect bars.
Ooh,
they're not always at rest stops or gas stations, but if they have them at Starbucks, if you go to Starbucks a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be healthy.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Hell yeah. It's a protein bar, I'm assuming?
Kind of. I honestly don't know. It just says perfect bar.
Well, I mean, they won't lie to you, so I guess it's perfect.
It's got good things in it, and I'm like, all right, let's eat the good things.
Yeah.
But if I am feeling risky, nothing hits harder than a bag of hot Cheetos.
That is a little risky. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Even better, open the bag of hot Cheetos.
Okay.
Go to the nacho section of the gas station. No. Put the nacho cheese in the bag of hot Cheetos. Shake it up. Get yourself a plastic fork. Go to town.
Dude, that bathroom is gonna be fucked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Damn.
Your taste buds will be partying, and something else will be partying the very next morning. That's for sure.
That's
absolutely
something else.
So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
If the band was a dish, wow.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Man, I've never thought of that. Let's just go with like a works pizza. Just an everything pizza.
All right.
Hell yeah.
As a dish.
That
makes
the
sense.
reasoning?
Because it's always a pizza, but you could kind of throw anything on it.
Okay.
Still could have be pizza.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So
some people might not like what's on the pizza, but you could always pick it off.
Exactly. You just pick it off.
At the core, it's still a pizza.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can still fuck with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just eat around what you don't like.
Yep.
Yep.
So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
With a drink, I can 100% say my drink would be a horchata.
Okay.
For sure.
Ooh.
It's like my favorite drink out there.
Oh, I love horchata.
And my last meal, man, I don't think I could go out without tasting my Costco pecan pie.
Ooh.
Every year, I call it pecanica. I go out, I get a Costco pecan pie, and I eat one slice for 8 days until it's gone. I don't know what it is about that thing, but the Costco pecan pie specifically
Yeah.
is like hands down the best pecan pie out there.
All right.
That's beautiful that you have a whole 8-day holiday dedicated to it. Name and everything.
Yeah, I made up my own holiday because my wife doesn't eat it at all, and she's like, "Are you seriously going to eat that whole thing?"
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I haven't gone to Costco in a whole year, and I have to go and renew my membership just to buy the pie.
But it's worth it.
So yeah. So my wife would be like, "You seriously spent $80 just to renew your membership for somewhere you don't go just to buy one pecan pie?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, I did.
Right, I did.
Do you celebrate?
I don't know if
Pecanica
it's like a child. Do I celebrate Pecanica
at the same time every year, or is it just when you have 8 days at home?
When I have 8 days at home, not on the road, and Costco's has their pecan pies available.
Okay,
that's beautiful.
I love it.
So it came up because my wife was like, "You should just create your own holiday. This seems to be like your thing every year." And I was like, "I'll call it Pecanica."
Exactly.
And
Maybe
she
I
laughed
will.
and said it's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just beautiful.
Love it.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Fictional world for a week. Oh
Mhm.
man, it'd have to be the world of Harry Potter. I think
Ooh.
I'd have to be at Hogwarts. I mean, come on.
Yeah. What
Other
house are you?
things sounds cool, but I mean, I took the online test. I'm a Slytherin, I guess.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You guys are determined. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
That's,
know,
that's awesome.
Potter was supposed to be a Slytherin,
Exactly. Everyone forgets about that.
but his heart yearned for Gryffindor. So
Yeah.
that just seems like a cool world to be in. You know, doing all the magic stuff.
Exactly.
For some reason, I thought Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings at first, and I'm like, that would be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, no, that's like instant death, I feel.
And I'm not built like the Mountain or the Hound, so I think I'd do better in the world of
the
Harry
wizarding
Potter,
world of
you know,
magic. Yeah.
the wizarding world, you know, maybe
Yeah.
just flying around on a broom and
Exactly.
That's right.
playing
Chill
some
as hell.
spells. Yeah.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So either of asking the last question, every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color.
Mm.
That has been a tough one for me to answer over the years. And it's because when I was little, my favorite color was purple.
Mm.
And I remember getting made fun of for it. I was like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. And then my colors are just always changing.
Oh.
Like, I don't know if I've had one specific favorite color to go to.
Yeah.
But I can say lately it's kind of been going back to purple, like a fuchsia.
Yeah.
I've been like all the lights behind my TVs at home and everything. I'm like, oh, we're going to go with that like dark pink color. That looks sweet right now. So
yeah,
I've been really into that.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Just like to say, it's very fitting that there's been purple light behind you for this interview.
The entire time, actually. Oh, now it's red,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, no, it's orange. It's orange. That's my little Halloween tree.
Oh my god, that shit's awesome.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah,
I
know. Happy Halloween. Might be early for some people, but no. Once the store's got the decorations,
Yep.
that's when I start getting it.
Is that Ghostface from fucking Scary Movie?
Yeah.
Of course it fucking is. Get this guy out of here. I fucking love him. I love him
Right
so
on
much.
the phone that's for some reason back here.
It's
So
perfect.
you can call the driver of the bus up front. I don't even know if the phone works, but
It's
just it out.
Yeah.
yeah, I had to spookify the my back work area here.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it's fucking awesome.
So as I said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, Out of the Shadows out now. Thank you so much for taking the time to want to talk to me. And hope you guys are enjoying the album, and I hope everybody that's listening to it is enjoying it, and hopefully see you at a show in person sometime soon.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sounding. It's been Craig from Escape the Fate, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.